You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, it's never too early to talk about the 2024 NFL season, and we have found out, of course, who will open the season on Thursday Night Football. I'm sure that's going to be a Sunday night. It'll be on NBC, I'm sure. That we'll end up getting that game, and then the rest of the Thursday night games will be streaming on Amazon. I just shake my head. But anyway, and we also have some insight into who they will be opening the season against. Also, we've got the opening betting favorites to win the Super Bowl already. The much too early favorites. And once again, the 49ers are leading the charge. The Chiefs just won, but the 49ers are the betting favorites for next year. The Chiefs are second. And then we've got a bunch of the usual suspects that round out the list. So let's do that first. Bleacher Report, the 49ers are the early favorite to avenge their heartbreaking overtime loss, opening at a plus 550. Bet 100 to win 550 to win it all in 2025. According to DraftKings Sportsbooks, San Francisco could certainly make it back to the title game with a strong offense led by Christian McCaffrey, Brock Purdy, George Kittle, and Deebo Samuel. I just dropped a video about the defense of the Niners and some more reaction to that. If you want to go back and watch it, and about Steve Wilks as defensive coordinator. I think the Niners need to get a lot more physical on defense. Nobody is scared of getting their heads knocked off by the 49ers defense anymore. And I got a problem with that. I do. I think Kyle Shanahan needs to look at doing something else at defensive coordinator. The Chiefs opened at a plus 650, which represented the second best odds to win Super Bowl 59, which is impressive considering the fact that no NFL team has ever hosted a Lombardi trophy in 3 consecutive seasons. Yep, now they're on the board to three-peat. The AFC's other top organizations followed shortly after, with the Baltimore Ravens at a plus 900. The Buffalo Bills at a plus 950 own the third and fourth best odds after Kansas City. Of course, we know the Ravens finished at 13-4 and advanced to the AFC Championship game. I'm just wondering, and they've got some losses here. Number one, is Lamar Jackson going to be able to throw from the pocket during the playoffs all of a sudden? Because I think that's going to end up being a massive storyline going forward, is Lamar Jackson's failures, and they're in a pretty ugly contract right now with him, and I've done videos on that. They've locked themselves in a lot of money. Plus, this may be a sneaky storyline involving the Ravens, but Mike McDonald going to the Seahawks as head coach and them losing him as defensive coordinator. So that's going to be interesting. The Detroit Lions odds plus 1,200 represented the second highest mark in the NFC as they blew a 24-7 halftime lead to the 49ers. I think a lot of people are going to look at the Lions as one of the favorites next year in the NFC. Packers, too. I want to say Cowboys, but look, I mean, until I'm proven otherwise, Cowboys feel like a one-and-done or a divisional playoff run, maybe divisional round, still lose, not make it to the NFC Championship game. They should have made some changes in the coaching at head coach. They didn't do it. Identical plus 1,200 odds is the Bengals. I really like the Bengals there. By the way, the Panthers are plus 25,000. Oh, man. Bryce Young would have to come a long way real fast. So, the Chiefs will open. By the way, I know John Matrix is already said his pick to win it all next year is the Bengals. We're both big Joe Burrow fans. Wouldn't shock me to look up and see the Bengals in the Super Bowl next year again, having already made it just a couple of years ago. And, of course, Joe Burrow got hurt during the season, or I think the complexion of the AFC playoffs might have looked a lot different. Chiefs are champions again, which means they will start the season again. When Thursday night after Labor Day rolls around, the Chiefs will be hosting one of 8 teams. There's some very intriguing possibilities here. The possibilities are the Ravens, Bengals, Broncos, Texans, Raiders, Chargers, Saints, Buccaneers. Now, we know they went outside of the box this year and put the Lions on there, but in hindsight, it looked like a very good pick, okay? In the fact that, number one, the Lions won the game, but number two, the Lions were really good and ended up making the NFC Championship game. So it ended up being a battle of 2 of the best teams in the league. Now, this is the matchup I want to see right here. The rematch of the AFC Championship game from a couple of years ago. A very controversial, not even a couple of years ago. It was January of 2023, all right? So it would be Joe Burrow, a healthy Joe Burrow, back from injury against Patrick Mahomes, and that game's going to be in Kansas City. But that's the game I want to see, all right? I think of all the AFC quarterbacks out there that have got a chance to really give Patrick Mahomes the shits, for lack of a better way of putting it, I think it's Joe Burrow. I do. He's far and away the best pocket passer of the other 3, okay? Josh Allen, Lamar, or Joe Burrow. And Joe Burrow's not a slowpoke. He's not a stationary quarterback. Joe Burrow can scramble. He's mobile enough when he needs to scramble, whereas the other 2 quarterbacks are more dual threat. And we know when you get to the playoffs, defenses start playing a lot tighter, and you have to be able to throw the ball from the pocket. Also, the Bills next year, Joe Brady, it's going to be interesting to see, as he's the OC for the full season, how does Josh Allen progress any further. It's a huge year for 2 teams next year, the Bills and the Cowboys, all right? Because, and the Eagles, by the way. The Eagles weren't even brought up in this situation. Think about that. All 3, if they crap the bed, don't make the playoffs, early exit, fall short, lose in disastrous fashion, any of that, well, those big-name coaches that we talked about that didn't get hired, Belichick in particular, Mike Vrabel, maybe even Pete Carroll, all of a sudden they're going to get brought up with these franchises. Buffalo, Cowboys, and of course, the Eagles. And I don't know that I would just sleep on the Jets in all of this either. Aaron Rodgers back, Aaron Rodgers healthy. What is that going to look like? Keeping in mind that Patrick Mahomes, in theory, could have to get through Aaron Rodgers to get to the Super Bowl. That becomes very interesting. So there's already a lot of interesting storylines. Everybody's going to say the same thing. Well, the NFL scripted this out so they would have Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce on the opening game on national television. I can't fault you for saying that. I can't. I mean, I just can't. It's exactly convenient. I mean, it is really exactly convenient that here we are. The Fighting Taylor Swifts are going to be opening the season on NBC in Kansas City. Mahomes, Kelce, whatever it is, the disrespectful crap that Kelce was doing to his coach. I like Andy Reid a lot. I really do. And now he is officially solidified himself among the greatest coaches ever. And that's good to see after he just fell so short all those years with Donovan McNabb and the Eagles. Man, I wish Donovan could have gotten 1 ring. We would be talking about his career differently. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.